And welcome back to our weekly patch notes discussion for Icarus. I'm here with Carl, so I'm gonna switch back over to Discord. Hey my man, how you doing?
Doing well, and happy Valentine's Day, or Merry Valentine's Day, or Happy Easter. I don't know what they say for Valentine's Day.
I think Happy Valentine's Day, something to that extent, I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know, but yeah, no, we're doing well. It's Friday, so it's weekend. Was fun.
Friday, so Icarus update day. And we have a couple of nice, less nice things in the patch notes, and a very nice one for next week.
Well, I think I saw the one that you're mentioning about for the next week, but at the very least, I like the fact that they're doing a little bit of quality of life and slash hotfix
Uh,
type of thing. So we'll see what they are giving to us today.
uh, So let's have a look at this week's patch notes. Week 167, achievement fixes, sleep screen improvements, and more. Now, a hard boss and mission achievements have been fixed, and we've added more detail to the sleep screen for bigger prospects. So, welcome to week 167. Now, this week we have a number of smaller fixes and some quality of life. We have highlighted some of them below in the notable improvements, but check out the patch notes for the full list. We go into detail about the achievement fixes and changes, and also a new addition to the sleep screen. And finally, we discuss a feature that has been requested for a long time, tree regrowth. Yes, finally. Which, if all goes well, will be released
Mhm.
next week. So let's jump in and have a read, shall we?
I do appreciate that base, the one that's on the screen below it. That thing looks majestically cool.
Yep.
It's actually gets me in the mood. You know what? I should actually start my own kind of open world or something if I can, and if not, then do whatever to kind of see if I can build something like that where I can just make my architectural dreams come true.
Yeah, hey, by all means, why not? I mean, I've done my fair share of open worlds with big builds as well. Although I
Hmm?
usually build in one grid, and I can see here with like the rounded pathway up to the stairs, they
Yeah,
have not
it's
built
very cool.
everything on one grid.
No, no, no. It's multi-grid, multi-tiered
Oh,
level, and that's what I so appreciate about it. It's very, it looks very nice. I like it. That looks like a very cool. It's a lot of glass though, but they did like intertwine a little bit of wood over there, hopefully, because you don't want to live in a glass house, because throwing stones are
well,
fun, but
just if you want to build a lot with glass, then start your open world on easy.
well, reinforced glass is something that you could use, because I
Uh,
definitely would only do something like this with the highest level of materials like concrete
yeah,
and steel pillars and all those
but
things.
if you have your open world on easy, the storms and weather events are less severe, thus
Mm,
less weather damage to your structures. So you don't have to do
would
the concrete roof and overhangs.
would a high end or the top tier storms damage
Yes,
reinforced glass? Oh, is it?
it is.
Interesting. Okay, all right. That
It
would
is.
be something I wouldn't want.
Like
Yeah,
there is
I like
only
that.
the only material that is not being damaged by storms is concrete.
Concrete, yeah.
Like even the red
And
storms
dirt.
are not doing anything against concrete and dirt, but dirt isn't really a building material. You can only make foundations with it. Oh, and they made a
Yeah,
change to
no,
the dirt, by the way, and that's
okay.
slightly less nice, but understandable
Yeah, we'll
because it
see.
was an exploit. But yeah, we will see.
But let's check these improvements.
So, fix an issue where the game would suffer from persistent frame drops after interacting with the orbital exchange interface. Now, this is something I have not experienced myself, but I have seen people complain about.
Makes sense. It does feel like something I would experience, but my frames drop all the time, so it's
There might be
difficult to discern.
there might be good news for you in this patch as well.
Yeah,
But yeah,
we'll see.
apparently some people, if they like call down a part with the orbital exchange interface, then all of a sudden their FPS tanks, and then it stays low until they like reload the prospect. Kind of what
So it's
we
another.
saw when we were fighting the Hammerhead Slug, which
Oh,
I have
with
the
the
idea
yeah
from my
yeah
open world, sorry, from my dedicated server, is when you use explosive ammo.
yeah.
Yeah, some people apparently had it with interacting with the orbital exchange interface, and that has been fixed. So I'm happy for those people, because I know how annoying this persistent FPS drop can be.
Yeah. Next one sounds good, but the question is by how much?
Uh, Increased experience gain from killing world bosses significantly. It does, at least here, does not state how much. Maybe
Exactly.
later on,
Significantly
but
to be measured to, I mean, probably in the detailed notes it will mention it, but I would say at the very least it should be a 5x plus multiplier. So it should either be, rewarding you 20 or 50,000 experience to actually kill like a boss.
20k
Not the Black Wolf
experience. That's what you get.
plus one.
That's what you get from a medium simple quest. 10k
Uh,
for the easy simple quest, 20k for
okay, then
the
more.
medium simple
I'm
quest, 30k for
I'm not
the
I'm not
hard.
measuring it in the sense of a mission. I'm measuring it in the sense of a kill.
There is some
Oh,
more news about killing world bosses as well, not only experience gain.
no, but this is the thing. But it's
Yeah.
like referring to like we're killing a creature. The XP gain from killing the world boss, which is a creature, has significantly increased. And if I recall correctly, the boss currently would have given you maybe 3,000 experience thereabouts. So what I'm saying is like a 10x plus factor should be applied because it is a boss after all, a world boss that is. But
Um,
let's carry on then.
Now dirt and stone buildings now take damage in the lava as intended, if it
Okay.
touches lava. So what we did with the dirt foundations building around in the lava cave leading towards
Yeah,
a second
because yeah,
volcanic biome, that's not gonna
yep,
work no more.
yep, which is expected because
Yeah.
you said that stone, but that's
As
stone
yeah,
buildings, but not concrete. So
scoria.
concrete,
Scoria
scoria,
is the
scoria,
only
got it.
material which
It
is
was.
not taking, supposed to be the only material that is not taking any damage when it touches the lava. Um,
Isn't scoria considered a stone building piece?
it's a stone variant, I'd say, but yes,
Exactly. So
for
you would think this
lava
statement is
resistant.
including does it say lava resistant?
There will be later on in this patch notes
Okay,
mentioned explicitly scoria is the material not taking damage in lava. So
got it.
basically, if you want to build a bridge over lava, you can
Scoria.
have you put scoria beams in the lava; they do not get damaged, and you can put
Yep,
concrete bridge
on top
like
of it,
two
yeah.
inches above the lava is fine as long as it's not touching the lava.
Touching it. All right. Yeah.
Uh, Cakes can no longer be placed on walls.
Aw, I wanted to actually try
Hmm?
that.
Well,
It would have
like
been fun. You could just make a whole wall full of cake.
hang a
Build
cake
a.
on the wall.
No, you make a Hansel and Gretel cottage in the woods covered with cakes and candies and all these beautiful
Yeah,
things, and
oh,
you
but that is a wall made out of cakes. This is talking
cake
about
stuck on a wall.
exactly.
Yeah, but you
So
can't make
vertical.
a wall out of cakes, so you can
No.
actually build a normal
Well,
wall and then fill it full
actually,
of cakes. So you could have made it technically out of cakes, is what I meant.
actually, I'm not sure you can't do it. Cake is stackable, or at least you can put cakes on top of something else,
Do you
on top of
think
a
it would
table.
make it shell? Yeah, but you can stack a cake on top of a cake, can't you?
I don't
Or
know.
can't you?
I've never tried this.
Yeah, okay.
For example,
Maybe
the
you can.
rugs, and I've tested this with the thin woven rugs, you can stack
Yeah.
them quite high. I've never
Oh,
actually
okay.
looked at how high, what the limit is, but
Okay.
I've done like 7 of them rugs stacked on top of one another. No problem.
Yeah, building a house out of cake sounds like a good objective. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. Carrying on
Let's
then.
just hope the wildlife isn't going to develop a taste for cakes.
Yeah. True. True. True.
Increase the zoom level on the map to double the current amount, so you can zoom in even further. Okay.
Okay.
Very
Good.
handy if you're like targeting a very specific location on the map. But Yeah, there have been instances indeed where I was like, if I could zoom in a little bit more, would have been handy. But hey, I'm used to it, so I don't really care. But apparently, looks like you can zoom in a little bit more now. Okay.
Well,
This is an interesting, which I'm not sure what they mean with this. They removed the level lock on the Arctic Armor talent, the
interesting.
big game hunter talent for the Ghillie Armor, I reckon, the Ghillie
I think I
Armor
recall this.
blueprints, and the Arctic Armor blueprints.
I think there
Well,
was a level requirement to be able to craft it, if I remember correctly. There was one point where I
yes.
could craft I unlocked the talent points on my one character for the polar bear armor set, and then I couldn't craft it because I wasn't high
The
enough level.
Well, there is still level
Absolutely
requirement
recall.
on blueprint. Yes. You need like the uh, Texas bench or advanced Texas bench.
Yeah, no, but it was actually like I unlocked it, but I couldn't craft it
Yeah.
until I was like reached level 20 or something like
Yeah.
that. It was
So
actually
they
like
might
a
have
level low though.
lowered that level requirement. And I think the other
Removed it,
one,
isn't it?
yeah, but you
Removed
still
it,
need a
yeah.
certain level, I would say.
No, correct, yeah, but it's
Oh,
not
not
level locked. It says it's not.
necessarily. If
It
you
says
play
it's
in
no longer
co-op,
level locked.
if you play in co-op, someone with a level 5 when having unlocked a talent should be no, is maybe able to use the Texas bench crafted by someone else to actually craft this armor
That's the
set.
thing.
Okay.
It's the fact that you as a player don't need to be a
Yeah.
certain level in order to craft it.
And yeah, the Arctic armor talent and the big game hunter talent, which I reckon is for the ghillie armor. Indeed, it had like this. You need to have spent at least this amount of talent points in this talent tree before you can unlock these
No, that's
talents.
always going to be there, I think. That's not what it's referring to. It was the fact that my character was level
Yeah,
15 or something like that,
yeah, yeah.
and I got to the point where I could unlock
But that is for the
the
blueprint.
armor. No, but even then I wasn't able to craft the armor.
If you
It
unlock
says
it, you
remove
can
the
craft
level.
it. If you
Uh,
if there was a level requirement on the blueprint, and I've seen that before, like you need at least level, I believe 15 for the fur armor, for example.
oh, okay.
The same is for the ghillie armor and the Arctic armor. You need to be
Oh,
at least
okay.
this level
Yeah.
to
No, you're
unlock
right.
it.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Once you
There was
can
a level
unlock
lock. Yeah,
it,
on the
then you can.
blueprint. Yeah, no, you're
But
right.
you have to first unlock the talent, and
That's
then you can
correct.
unlock the blueprint. Now for the
And yeah, because
talent as well, there was this like you need to be like this level in this talent branch before
yeah,
you
but
can unlock this talent.
yeah,
If they removed that talent requirement, then actually the Arctic armor is going to become more interesting because up until now you had to be like max level in the talent tree already before you could even unlock the
I
Arctic
don't think
armor.
I don't think that's the reason why it's there. I think the reason why it's there is because new players with the +7 or 8, talents that you get because of the new missions and because of
Hmm.
finishing the dark sector would allow you to technically unlock it sooner than was originally designed in the game when they calculated the level lock, and therefore people that wanted to get that unlocked sooner are now basically no longer level locked. So if you've unlocked it in the talent tree because you have spent the points, then yeah, because by level 3 you could unlock it,
No,
basically.
the talent
Yeah, the talent.
you had to be at like and I'm talking about talent 3 level. I'm not talking about character
Yes,
level. I'm talking about talent
talent
3
3
level.
level.
Like
Yeah,
you needed to be level 4, which meant you needed to have spent what like 16 15 16 talent points in the tree before you could even unlock
14, I think.
the Arctic armor.
It's
Well,
14
I'm
talent
not gonna
points.
spend that much talent points in this talent tree just to get to the armor, the Arctic armor.
But that's the point. It could be done. Hence, that in the
It
past it
could be
could
done,
not
yeah,
possibly.
but it
But
was
yeah, not smart.
someone who had unlocked these both. He was specialized a lot in this very
Yeah.
talent tree. So
I mean, I think if I
nice for
recall, I
co-op.
actually got mine unlocked earlier, to be honest, on the one character I had.
Nice for co-op,
Because
but not for solo. I'm not gonna spend that much talent points in this talent tree
yeah,
just to get to. But if they remove the talent level, the level lock, then actually Arctic armor. I don't care about the ghillie too much, but especially the Arctic one is gonna become much more interesting to unlock
you'll
because it
still have
is
to get the bear pelts, but yeah.
true, but it is quite good cold resistance. Although once you get to like the composite armor, which is like not that. I think it's slightly less cold protection than the Arctic armor, but
Yeah.
it's way better all-round armor.
Yeah, true.
But as long as I'm not there yet, and on my solo character, my new solo character, I am not there yet, I could actually go for the Arctic armor now. So it's an interesting one. I like it. Making Arctic armor and the ghillie armor available earlier, because you don't need to spend that much talent points in this talent tree, and
I don't
easier
think
because you
that's.
don't have to spend that much talents in this talent tree.
I would say that's not what the change is, but we'll see once we start up the game.
Yeah. Next one. World boss icons have been updated to more accurately reflect their state. Is it now gonna show you, hey, like you've killed
Oh,
this
not
world boss,
spawned yet. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
not spawned yet, or maybe for the sandworms, like this is the static one, this is the roaming one. But also, what I wanna see, preferably, is have I killed it already? Yes or no?
That's the thing. Oh, do you mean like you haven't got an achievement for it, or
No,
is it like you
like
haven't killed in this rotation yet? So it means he's
this
not
rotation
spawned in.
yet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly. Yeah,
he
that's what
might
I
be
would say.
spawned in, but like before, you go out, you kill a sandworm, then you look at the map, and the icon is still there, even though you killed it already. It would be
Yeah,
nice if that icon would now show like, hey, it's killed, or
it disappears,
disappeared
or yeah,
entirely. Uh,
until it
there's
respawns,
yeah,
basically.
and it is on a timer nowadays. Those world bosses, so they are gonna respawn anyway.
Exactly.
So it would be very nice indeed if I could on the map could see which ones I killed already.
Yep.
Good. Bestiary updated the overview page to show the biomes of creatures in addition to their image. Uh, right, so take for example Prometheus, the blueback is both grasslands and Arctic.
Hmm.
Now in the bestiary you go to bestiary Prometheus, grasslands, blueback. But now apparently on the blueback page it's gonna say, hey, it's in grassland as well as Arctic. So on the animal page itself as well. I mean, you still knew how to go to the animal page, but now you can see in which biomes. The rabbit, for example, is like everywhere. Maybe not the swamp though. So
Yeah.
nice. Um, Adjusted meshes in the desert to use far shadows function, which increases the shadow quality visuals. And I believe they also said something uh, about is later on about cacti being now more clear in the desert. This one is nice for you, I think. Made adjustments to the shadows on floor torches, to reduce the performance impact.
Yeah. I
You're
can't recall
suffering.
specifically a torch. No, yeah, we usually have flames, but I'm
Yeah,
not sure if it was sometimes torch related or not. But definitely, it's still got to do with the flame effect. So any
yeah,
improvement would probably have a knock-on effect. So
yeah.
definitely good.
You suffer. You as an AMD user, AMD GPU user, are suffering from
Hmm.
flames and fire and such. So
Poor
hopefully
optimization. Yes.
this is good for you.
Yeah, definitely. I hope so as well.
Adjusted muzzle flashes and smoke on most of the guns, as it was unnecessary obstruction to the player's view. Most of the guns. Now there is the rustic or rusty whatever shotgun, which you can unlock in the farmer's talent tree,
Hmm.
and that one still has like this big cloud of smoke, but uh, there's like inherent on like hey this is the old cobbled together shotgun.
It's a
Uh,
flintlock shotgun, basically.
Something to
So it's
that
bone
extent,
shot.
yes.
Yeah. So.
So yeah. And now this one, this last one. Removed an exploit where you could use a shovel on the dirt building piece to collect
Oh
unlimited dirt. I mean,
no.
it's very
That
sad.
Corne's whole life is destroyed
Eh,
now. Corne
I'm
took
I'm
such
I'm I'm
pride to
sad,
infinitely
yes.
mine dirt. Just
Yeah.
that was Corne's
Although
thing.
I
Yeah.
have to agree, this was an exploit, true. I totally
Yeah.
agree this was an exploit, so I should not be complaining they fixed this.
No, correct. It
This
is
is, however,
not
gonna
great.
affect the availability of dirt in, for example, the volcanic biome. Hey, Alucard, welcome. Like volcanic biome, I've been digging dirt multiple times, or trying to dig dirt multiple times there. I never got it, but
What do
I
you
did
get if you
give
use the shovel?
nothing,
Oh, okay.
nothing. Um, I did, however, get the tip when I asked around about this. After I read this, hey, they're gonna remove it. I asked around, I got a tip like, hey, go to the places where there's like actually the bushes and stuff growing, and dig
Yeah, yeah,
there,
yeah.
and then you should get dirt. And okay,
It's the
sure,
same thing as
that's
ice.
something
It's the same.
I should do indeed.
Yeah, it's the
Uh,
same thing as when I was in the Arctic when I was trying to shovel some ice that I was shoveling according to me on ice, but it was still not ice, so it didn't register it to that effect.
an
So
icy rock is not gonna work, but if you're like in the middle of the wide plain, you dig
yes, then
ice.
yeah, exactly, that's correct. So it could be something similar in
Yeah.
the volcanic or the fire
Well,
biome thing.
volcanic biome, like I said, I got a tip like test out the
Yeah,
location where plants are growing.
that's true. That's where
Um,
dirt is.
the
So
desert, also one where you usually get sand, but there are locations where you can get
sand.
dirt. Yes, and sand you can actually
What's sand?
smelt into glass.
I didn't know. What is this sand? I've never seen sand.
Yeah, you can dig for sand with a shovel
Oh,
only,
interesting.
and you can dig for dirt
Oh,
in the desert, and you can for sand in the desert,
smelt
and you
it
can smelt it
to
into
glass.
glass. So it's a nice alternative for a glass.
Silica.
If
Yeah,
only
silica and
like
stuff.
it only stacks 50,
Okay.
and it wears out
Probably
your
weighs a bit.
shovel pretty quick. So
Probably weighs a
best,
bit as
yeah,
well.
best is if you go for sand for glass, smelt it in situ, smelt it in the desert already.
Yeah, makes sense.
Uh, so now I have to find out where in the desert I should dig for dirt instead of sand. Null sector,
Probably on the side of the riverbanks.
maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I'd have to check. And like where the ferns are growing. Maybe there you
Yeah,
get dirt.
yeah,
Kinda
definitely as
makes
well. But I
sense.
would I would say next to the water things that there would be over there, and rivers and stuff.
Like where there's undergrowth.
Yeah,
Not
that's
counting
true.
the cacti, but like the ferns
Yeah,
undergrowth. There, dig for dirt maybe. But null sector. And this is
I
something
haven't been
you
there.
haven't been
So
there, but the ash lines null sector. I don't know you ever gonna be able to find a place for dirt there. The ice
oh, that's good.
shelves, eat them. I don't know. And
Cave
hauling
in a cave.
dirt,
You go into a cave. You just go into a cave. I'm pretty sure there would be some in the cave.
we can try once we get there. But, and hauling dirt is it only stacks 50.
Yeah.
So
Just fix
you're
achievement
gonna need
fixes.
gonna need a lot. But yeah.
Ah, exactly. Yeah.
So
That's I mean
I'm very sad because I was using this, or
exploits.
one could even say abusing this exploit. But on the
Uh-huh.
other hand, I know it's an exploit, so I shouldn't. And from an exploit point of view, it's a good thing they fixed it.
Yes, officer. I know this is illegal, but I'm doing it anyway, and therefore it's perfectly fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, from that point of view, it's a good thing they fixed it.
Yes.
All right. This week, achievement fixes. Now, we have had some issues with achievements in the past, specifically the sticks and stones and the zero to hero achievements. Those are like sticks and stones, like complete
Yep.
this many missions in sticks, and the zero to hero complete this many missions in Olympus. Now, one of these issues included a bug where the game was not correctly sending the complete data to Steam. It specifically was ignoring the missions which were unlocked by default, so if you play open world. Now, this resulted in the two achievements never being completed, which has now been addressed. So people, I've seen people complain about this indeed, like, hey, I've done all the operations, I still don't have the achievement. Yes, this is why the by default ticked off missions, by default completed missions, and like the starting mission. If you did it only on open world, you never did an ESA mission from the space station. There was no completion data sent to Steam, so you never got the achievement. Now fixed. And actually, sticks and stones is at point 3% of the players who achieved this, and the 0 to hero 0.4% of the players who ever achieved that achievement, as per yesterday's pre-patch. So I reckon these numbers will grow now. More about achievements. We have also adjusted the bigger they are, the harder they fall. The leader of the pack and the sting operation. Oh, that's for the 4 world bosses. Sting operations for the Scorpion, I think. Leader of the pack for like Black Wolf. The bigger they are and the harder they fall. One for the Sandworm and one for the Mammoth, I think. So they now award achievements to everyone who is on the server fighting the boss, rather than just a player who deals the final hit. We have seen this before. When we initially did the world bosses, when they like came out, we went in with a team of 4. Giz was there as well, and only the one who actually dealt the last blow, only that person got the achievement. I don't know whether or not you remember.
It was some time ago, so can't
Yeah.
say I do, but I know if something they fixed, then
Yeah.
good.
So this was not only an issue for teammates, but sometimes even for the whole party. Because mounts and tames, as well as things like fall damage, poison damage, fire damage, electric damage, they all could do the final hit, rendering the achievement given to no one. And I've actually, I was on Reddit, someone was asking about this, like, hey, I killed the sandworm, but I didn't get achievement. And then he explained, like, I was trying to scan the thing with the beast, and then my mouse killed the sandworm, and I did not get the achievement. So I told him, like, hey, look, that's why the mouse killed it. You didn't kill it. And I put some explanation in there on Reddit, and actually Dean himself replied there as well, like, yeah, we know about this, and we know about the chance of, for example, doing electric, doing the last tick, etc. And this is being addressed in this week's patch. So now everyone, the entire party, is gonna get like the accolade, and there's also the achievement. The accolade for killing the boss. The achievement actually is only on hardest difficulty, so you need to have an open world in hard mode or run it as a mission in hard mode. But yeah,
Yep.
the entire party, not only one player, or if you're unlucky, a mount or electric or fire or poison, whatever, doing the last tick. So good for the players. And actually, this is something which was basically since they introduced the world bosses. And I'm glad they finally addressed this.
Yep.
Okay, more this week. Sleep, screen, quality of life. We've also added a small quality of life to the sleep screen, so you will now be able to see who is sleeping and who you are waiting for your play session. This can help larger prospects quickly track down who you are waiting for and dish out some well-earned condemnation. And as you can see in the image here, one of 2 players is in bed, stat check is in bed, and shame is not in bed yet. So you can shame.
Mm.
And they will actually call it something to that extent later on in the, I believe, the fixes list.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense that it definitely, as they said, for larger prospects,
Yeah.
if you have many people on your server. Obviously, I'm not sure exactly what the max is actually, but
I'm not sure whether or not there still is a max. There might be a max concurrent, like maximum 8 concurrent. Like back in the days before dedicated server was a thing. Well, that's wrong. Back in the day before data decentralization, there was a max of 8 people in a prospect. This was back in a time where you only could have like 3 characters, all those things. After data decentralization, they removed the limit for the amount of players, etc., amount of characters, sorry. I believe they also either removed or upped the player limit for a prospect. But I'm not sure, like, could be that is still an active player, or sorry, a concurrent player limit. Concurrent active? I don't know. We usually play with up to 3 people. We've never run a prospect with more than that. Well, 4 back in the days, but this was before the decentralization, so we were still not hitting the limit. But
That's
yeah,
fine. It's a
if
nice
you have
number.
like
It's fine.
6, 8, 10 people active, and there's one not in bed, at least now you can see who it is. You can like tell that specific person like, hey, get your ass into bed, cause we want to sleep.
Yep.
Next week, tree regrowth. Yes, finally. We're in the middle of testing out the implementation of tree regrowth. This involves building and powering a device that will trigger tree regrowth inside the preset radius. We know the community has been asking for this for a while, and that is putting it mildly. So we are taking our time to make sure it works as intended. Yeah, I'd rather have you do it like first time right. If we don't feel like it's ready early next week, we will do a smaller patch with some quality of life fixes instead. It's a very interesting looking
Yep.
machine. Let's open the image in a new
Yeah.
tab. Nice.
No, it makes sense. It's probably like it seems quite sizable as well,
Yeah.
which is expected. So you probably want to put it close to a heavily wooded or densely forested area, so you don't have to move it around probably, and then leave
Um,
your trees
so,
close untouched around your base.
well, I already keep in mind when I'm building a base, don't cut too much trees around my base because you know delta data being generated for every cut down or burn tree,
Yeah.
etc. So I want to keep the delta data around my base to a minimum to keep the performance on an acceptable level. So, but yeah, for people who have like cut down a lot of trees around the base, I say I need some quick wood, so I'm cutting down a couple hundred trees around my base, etc. And then now they're like, yeah, but now it's a bit ugly. At least you can now like regenerate, repopulate the trees around your base again with this device. It will, like I said, it will improve your performance around your base, definitely.
Depends if it gets rid of the delta data or not.
Yeah, it is gonna, from what I've seen so far, it is gonna respawn the trees where you cut them down.
Unfortunately, we know that not everything has been deployed very efficiently in the past, so I
Uh,
will
the
believe it once it
stone,
actually is deployed.
the stone regrow kind of does this, although there are some things to keep in mind there. Apparently, you should not entirely mine a stone. You should leave something, a small piece behind for it to act, if you wish, as a sort of seed for the stone regrow. If you like completely cut up the big rock, it's not gonna respawn. The thumper, the mineral nodes are regenerated where they were. The contents, the mineral itself, is being pulled from a pool, so that's like semi-random. But it is respawning the mineral nodes where they were. So I reckon this is gonna be the same. Respawn trees where they were, and obviously keeping into account like, hey, is there a building in its place now? If so, I'm not gonna respawn this tree. So you should not end up with trees in the middle of your base all of a sudden.
True, but that's not what I meant by updating the delta data, because you're obsessed or concerned about the delta data, and we know in the past when they fixed the rocks or the nodes or all these things, that it still had a lingering object which then was stacking, which were causing even
Uh,
more performance degradation at certain
Actually,
points, which
no.
actually,
Like the fact that my base in, for example, Prometheus, the big one, is still so slow, that's not because of delta data from removed objects, because we've seen like the rocks have respawned, etc. Run the thumb regularly there. Now with the tree regrowth, that's gonna remove a bit more, but that's more about like I have a massive base. I have a
so
massive
you,
power and water network. I have lots of benches. I have lots of animals. That's also creating lag. And that is why the performance around the base is so bad.
So you'd be comfortable with me harvesting all the trees around the base in the multi-run one, and then us basically testing whether or not
Yeah,
it's going to fix the performance.
yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
mean, now we are playing Prometheus co-op, obviously, so there aren't a
Okay.
whole lot of trees around. But by all means, take them out.
There's a couple. No, great.
Take them
I'll
out.
try and see
It
if I
shouldn't
can.
it shouldn't make that much of a difference in performance. You
I'm
are
wondering
gonna
if it's going to. Do you think it might affect the cornfields and the other
good one.
variables, or is it only
That I do not
trees?
know.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Because it's going to probably repair the shrubs as well,
Shrubs is
and the
foliage. Foliage
grass.
respawn is a game setting. I've already enabled
Okay.
it. Foliage respawn and big rock respawn.
Okay.
But indeed, like wheat, corn, berry bushes, coffee bushes, all those kind of things. I'm not sure whether
Watermelon,
or not
squash
this is
beets.
part. It is considered foliage. But we don't have that many trees around our Prometheus open world base, so I don't think we'll be noticing much of a performance degradation
Well,
there.
there was a cornfield on the upper plateau close to the cave entrance on the right hand side as you exit the building that I recall
Yeah,
was
corn
removed.
cornfields or wheat
No,
or no, not wheat, not corn either.
no, the
There's it's
corn.
the Prometheus
No, there
grasslands.
was.
Corn there?
No, there
Okay,
was corn. There
okay.
was. There was corn there. So
Yeah.
if we put like the spawner in there and there's suddenly corn, then we know it works
Yeah.
on that. But we'll see.
But this is for
But that's good.
specific for trees. This would
Yeah.
be way more noticeable in an Olympus or
Olympus.
Prometheus
Yeah,
open or
that's correct.
Styx open world.
Well, we'll see.
Like
We'll see.
check the current performance. Now cut down the trees, all trees within a radius of say a half a click from base, and then see what the performance is doing then, and then run the tree regrower thingy, and see what difference that's gonna make. That would be the best way to test. But I'm very happy. Like one, it's gonna give us trees back,
Yeah.
so no more vast open areas in the middle of the forest where trees have burned down, forest fires. And I have a Styx open world where I lost quite a big chunk of forest to forest fire. So that can be repopulated. Trees become even more an infinite resource now. It was already kind of infinite with the frozen wood deep veins only on Prospect started after they added deep wood as a material for deep drills. And after they added the coconut planting, which gives you a bit of wood, so wood was already kind of an infinite resource. But now, especially with the tree regrowth, it's definitely going to be um, infinite resource. So aesthetics, uh, wood being an infinite resource now, and yes, my obsession, delta data, performance. Better for performance.
Yep. Yep.
Good, good.
So fixed things or new features then fixes.
Yeah.
Oh no, first. Yeah, carry on.
So, as usual, your support makes these updates possible. If you wanna support the team, you say like, hey, I like this game. I want to show my support to the devs. I want them to be able to keep on working on this game. They need some income, so I want to support them. Feel free to buy the game or one of the DLCs or all of the DLCs. No, new content. Added name and shame for people not sleeping to the sleep screen and sleep icons next to the player's name on the party list. Added name and shame.
Yep.
I like the term.
Well, it's like I presume that would have been one of the contention points for many people on certain servers where people are out and about collecting resources, but people want to sleep to get the day refreshed and technically not knowing who is in their appropriate beds because maybe they're in a cave somewhere else, and if you have like
Well,
5 players it maybe is easily managed, but when you have 50 players it's
hmm,
not so easy.
true. And yeah, even if they're out and about in a cave, just plonk down a battle and go to sleep, man. But at least
Yep.
now you can target specific people like, hey, go to sleep, or otherwise I as a server admin will kick you off.
Yep.
Fixes. few more. Fixes on Dollarite and cheap triplanar UV. Disables world alignment. Okay, whatever.
Yes.
Add custom highlight was set up with exotic deposits. Some process deployable base, etc. Thank you. Check to see if hit actor is a buildable before rewarding shovel resources in order to prevent infinite dirt exploit by shoveling a dirt mound.
Yep.
Again, double. On one side I was abusing this exploit a lot. On the other side, hey, it was an exploit, so it should be fixed.
Sure.
Add missing building tags to lava tag queries to ensure that scoria and scoria brick are the only two building types that can survive being placed in lava as designed.
As designed.
Talked
Makes
about
sense.
this one.
Yep.
Put a couple of scoria or scoria brick beams. And then you can use whatever material you want as a bridge. Use concrete so it doesn't take any weather damage. All other materials when placed in the lava, so when touching the lava, including the dirt foundations, which means I have to redo a lot of bridges in volcanic areas and in null sector. So be it.
Means we have to harvest scoria, so it's quite simple.
Yeah. Fix operation text on mission device being untranslated, especially for the non-English playing people.
That would be helpful, yeah.
Updated the water trough and water bowl water material to be darker and more visible, so it's easier to tell if the container has water or not. Nice quality of life.
Yep, definitely.
Slightly reduced the size of Dribbo shell head, the one with the big spiky head. Apparently his big spiky head is now slightly less big, spiky head.
Big heads are cute. So
Yeah, and
they
it was
serve
a
them.
hard point, so it was very hard to, from the front, hit him without hitting the hard point.
Well, that's usually what the horns are there for, so yeah,
True.
makes sense.
Gated the reinforced wood behind the carpentry bench directly, instead of behind beeswax, as the reinforced wood is meant to be combined with stone buildables. Still, you wouldn't need beeswax to make it, I would say. But then again, it is a reinforced wood crafted on a carpentry bench, so blueprint-wise, it would be.
Didn't the
It,
reinforced
it,
wood
it would make
require beeswax?
sense. Yeah, it's a beeswax wood, the
Yeah.
old one. It
Okay.
was previously called beeswax wood. They changed it to reinforced wood,
Reinforced.
the name, and
So
they
it still
changed the
needs
mesh
beeswax.
slightly as well. As far as I know, it
Gotcha.
needs beeswax, but it makes
Oh.
sense to put it in the blueprint, gated behind the
Oh yeah,
carpentry
behind the yeah,
bench,
rather than the
because
beehive. Yeah,
yeah, you
yeah.
craft it in the carpentry bench.
No, 100%. That's understandable. Yeah.
Yeah,
It uses honey, beeswax, so
beeswax, yeah,
it's a craftable
and
wood
it
anyway.
has like 2.5k durability instead of 1k.
Yep.
It has the storm resistance, the same storm resistance as stone buildings, hence meant to be combined with stone buildables. Anyway, set shadows on floor torches to be distance field, which can result in a 2 times performance increase. Enable will cast shadow on mesh, but disable DF shadow, remove the self-shadowing artifacts, but allowing sunlight to cast shadows off it. So hopefully this will also be in performance increase for people with an AMD GPU, i.e.
See.
Carl for example.
Yeah, I'll test it.
Flashlight, change the lights there. They increase the distance but reduce the strength and reduce the fall off. So should result in less bright light up close, but similar visibility from a distance.
That's interesting. It makes me want to try it again to see what the changes look like.
Yeah.
It was a cheap
It,
item to craft, so.
the flashlight is electric one, tier 4. But relatively cheap, however you would need a charging bench since quite some time already to recharge your flashlight.
Ah, okay. Because last time it was you just craft it and it's an infinite light source that lasts and
Yeah,
blasts light out for nothing.
that
It
has
was
been
like
changed.
one metal
Yeah,
and it was like a piece of glass and one aluminium ingot and bang, there's just magically a torch that blasts light very far away. It
yeah,
was
that's been
irritating because it was
changed
very
a
bright at first.
long time ago already. It now has like the battery charge, and as soon as the battery charge is like reduced to 0, you have to recharge your flashlight, or earlier if you want. But Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to recharge it on a recharge station. Same with your ice backpack and the battery cave lamps and all the kind of stuff. Fix normal texture for the cactus, resulting in bad lighting reaction and re-enabled alpha channel for billboards. Roughness, oh, thanks. Billboards in the desert. From what I've read in experimental branch, I believe this is like make them look better, especially at a distance. But I could be wrong. Defaulted max normal angle for the cake placement was 180. Remove unnecessary rotation step. Well, if you place it in front of you and you had like the 8 pieces, it was always slightly rotated. So place it and then, you know me, OCD. So I place it and I rotate it slightly, so it's like straight
Slices
lines.
are aligned perfectly
Exactly.
for the next. So it's the quickest from plate into mouth. It just slides off straight towards your face. You know, it's
Something,
designed for it.
yeah. But yeah.
Yes.
Increase experience granted from boss significantly. Again, no numbers here. Remove the double experience weekend banners and stats, so no longer double experience. Was supposed
Yeah,
to
the
last only
weekend
the
lasts
weekend.
until Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
They
as
did
expected.
say last week it will be there until we remember to
Turn it
take it
off.
off. So yeah.
Yeah, which is when they patch it. So
Remove level lock on Arctic Armor Big Game Hunter talent. Gillian Arctic Armor blueprints. We talked about that quite
yes,
extensively
we did.
already.
Yeah,
Spline Machine now casts far shadows, which should help substantially increase the shadow quality visuals in the deserts. Talked about it briefly. Updated experience tracker notifications to stack similar events and to not show 0 XP events, for example, for shared experience. And added a short fade out. This is the on top left of the screen where hey, you get this experience for this, you get some shared experience and some experience for yourself, which doesn't always show. So
yeah,
sometimes it's hard to see how much experience you actually get. Maybe it's now more consistently actually gonna show the amount of experience we get. We will see. Remove warning when saving assets with a final LOD vortex count of over 1,000. To ensure LODs are being properly added to every asset. Oh, thanks. Delete unused SHA geo. Sorry, I know this for encryption. SHA 128, SHA 256. No idea what SHA geo means in the game.
yep.
Some more project-wide asset optimization paths and cleanups. Good. Um, update dropship used in the Olympus mission Forsaken Recovery to have a lower impulse. Paths were headed into lower orbit and fade out destructible mesh pieces after delay. Forsaken Recovery, do you recall what mission that was? Because I don't recall what mission it was for Sacred Recovery actually.
Yep. Fixing
Yeah, but
creature content.
do, do
Okay.
you do you recall what mission it was for Sacred Recovery on Olympus?
No idea. Wait, I recall there was an Arctic one, wasn't it? Where there was like, you know, I don't know. If it, I don't know. What's it?
Yeah, I'm looking
Was
at
it use
Icarus Intel.
the park very hard into look and fade out destructible mesh pieces?
I'm
No.
this is where you had to like repair and damage gyroscope, find a new thruster in nearby wreckage and place in the ship. Wasn't this one where I ended this? Wasn't this the mission where I ended up 1,500 foot in the air?
Oh, they were in the desert.
Yeah.
Might have been. Could have
Whilst
been.
carrying one of those items.
Yeah, I recall. I remember you were stuck in the sky and we tried to bolt you and there was no way we were going to get you. But yeah, I can't recall exactly which mission that was. It
Hmm.
was quite some time ago.
But yeah, so if you have repaired and replaced the gyroscope, find a new thruster and put it in, and place fuel can in the ship, then it's gonna trigger a reboot, and then you have to like defend the dropship from local
Yeah.
wildlife. Now, if you fail to protect the ship and it explodes, then mission will fail. So parts were headed into lower orbit, so lower impulse. So if it does explode, the pieces don't fly off into space anymore. Apparently, that is how
Yeah.
we read this. Okay, right. Fix crafted device in field test recovery mission bouncing around when dropped. Yeah, I've seen this. I've seen people clipping this. Like you have fixed the device, or craft the device. You grab the parts, you craft the device, and then when you drop it on the ground, it's gonna like bounce around instead of just lying on the floor.
Well, that sounds pointless to drop items that you needed to
Uh,
sort of drop off.
yeah, wasn't
So,
it maybe because you had to carry it on the in the utility slot? No, don't think so though. But if you have
no, it's.
like, hey, I have the device, but you carry it, I'll drop it on the floor, you
Oh
grab
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah, yeah.
eh,
That's correct. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but you catch it before it touches the ground. It's a hot potato. So
yeah.
ground is lava.
Yeah.
So feature
Created
content.
single combined
Okay.
mesh. Maybe that was the issue. Like it was a single mesh, but like the three meshes combined, and then they like interacting weirdly. Maybe.
Yeah.
Removed no longer needed blueprints. So when you've right now or up until now, those blueprints stayed in your crafting menu. So you could still craft this mission item, the mission you finished like months ago. You could still craft it, but you couldn't get the necessary parts for it no more. So it was kinda polluting your crafting menu. So if they remove it, I'm fine with that. And update the quest description to be more specific. Yeah, less confusing for people who like, uh, what am I supposed to do? Like I've had it a couple of times as well, where it's like craft this thing, and then it doesn't state where you have to craft it. Then you have to go through the 35 different benches before you finally find the bench where you can actually craft the device. So, yeah, update the quest description to be more specific. Always nice to confuse less, to create less confusion. And yes, then it's time for the future content. A lot of the great hunt stuff, Garganoton Arena, Biolab weapons, biomass, and all this stuff. Uh,
Indeed, looks like it. It's
let's see,
obviously
is
them
there
working on the next thing quite a bit as per usual.
update the Rock Golem B, which is the mission Rock Golem B, the second mission for the Rock Golem. The dialogue to trigger after damage dealt instead of after the spawn, to ensure players are aware of the spawns. Like, I'm listening to Soul, and all of a sudden, apparently this thing spawned behind my back and is smacking me in the head.
Possible,
So
yeah.
now it's
Yeah.
first spawning Rock Golem or spawning whatever, and then you do damage to it, and only then it triggers the audio, the dialogue. This does mean that you are in the middle of a fight when the dialogue is being triggered.
Well, hopefully the dialogue would represent the urgency of the situation that you're in. So it's not a calm, oh, there's something possibly in the cave. It's more like, run for your life. It's going to clobber you to death.
Yeah, and if
No,
it
that doesn't
gives you
work
very
well.
important info whilst you are screaming to your teammates like, hit
Yes.
this guy, hey, help me, he's on my back, and then you
Yeah.
could miss the
Basically missed
dialogue.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
we'll have to see. But we
Yeah.
can always send in Echo first, and she's gonna be attacked,
Uh,
and then we can look at the dialogue, listen to the
she doesn't
dialogue.
have to go in first. She can be in last. She can be in the middle. She can
True,
be
true.
first. Doesn't matter.
We just
We'll
have
go
to
for her
take Echo with
regardless.
us.
There you go. You just take Echo with, and she'll be the target. That's just the way it works.
Setting up a biolab weapon info to include the purchasable upgrades. So, okay,
Yeah.
you have the base weapon, you can get upgrades for the weapons. We have seen this in previous patch notes for the flamethrower, where you can get like a backpack and then you no longer the like ammo backpack. You like what did you get? Sort of glass or whatever, some upgrades for it, and
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
no longer gonna use up the utility slots, stuff like that.
Yep. It's definitely something interesting, and it's obviously going to be necessary because I mentioned that's going to be upgradable. So adding in the interface or the info to include it, it's just common sense. So nothing much there.
Adjusting one
Let's
of
see what.
the rock golem gauntlet alterations so that it provides bonuses to both melee and projectiles, so it's not reliant on another upgrade. Okay, cool. So the
That's interesting. I
gauntlet
like.
is also going to give a projectile bonus.
Well,
It's a gauntlet. I
the
mean, melee bonus I can understand. It's a freaking gauntlet. You're gonna like smack things in the head with your fists.
yeah, but it could be like a rocket-powered gauntlet, which sort of you push a button and then there's a cable attached to it, and then it shoots forward rockets and then
Hmm.
smacks something in the face, like certain other games, like Blitzcrank from whatever that game is called.
Well,
And
it's not the gauntlets like Iron Man has, but
yeah, I mean it could be something like that, or it could be like on a tow cable. Like you push a button and it shoots the gauntlet out, and then sort of smacks something in the head, and then it sort of retracts back into the slot. So it could be cool, but I can't think why else they would get a ranged bonus. Indeed.
yeah.
Um,
Fix a problem with
so
auto-equipping shields and new legendary weapons that may have block actions. So yeah, if it's like they
yeah,
changed it a while ago, where if you equip a one-handed weapon, it automatically equips your shield or your offhand, and then a right mouse button is gonna block with the shield. But there
yep,
are legendary weapons, specifically the sledgehammer, which has a block action. So you have that one equipped. Although
yeah,
sledgehammer should be a two-handed weapon, but okay. Alright,
yeah. There
I'm
was
thinking Valheim now.
no,
So
but
if you then block, it's gonna block with the
yeah.
shield or with the hammer.
Yeah, true, but there was also, I think, the slug launcher, which had some sort of shield. They mentioned a shield at some point, which was more like an explosion guard, but maybe it was like a type of shield,
Good, good.
capability as well. So I recall that was something I read. But
Backpack and
mm,
module icons updated in workshop. Well, they did update the modules, and I'm still not used to which module is has now which icon.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's like a new
Yeah, here adding the
adding a new.
reduced opacity smoke muzzle flashes for the guns, resulting in far better visibility. However, kept the farmer's rusty shotgun smokier, as this makes sense for the weapon, the flintlock shotgun.
Exactly, yeah, type of thing. Yeah, makes sense.
You were saying?
No, I just read something up there basically because of based upon the slug launcher, and then obviously making things like third-person view kind of. So it does probably mean if it's like a really bulky or like a backpack slotted item that it's very difficult or clunky to use. So in this case, I actually would want you to fire it in third-person view, which also makes sense because wasn't there also the mentioning of like a type of ballista javelin shooter kind of thing?
That
So you
is
could also
the sandworm crossbow.
yeah, so but you can also imagine packing that thing as like a ballista, taking it off your back, throwing it in front of you, and then like a third-person view kind of
Yeah.
thing,
If
where you would
gonna
then
be
sort of
like
aim
some
it and
some
then shoot
some shoulder
javelins.
mounted
So yeah,
crossbow or something.
yeah, something to that effect. Yeah, or what would also be pretty cool is if you could actually keep it mounted on your mount in a hardpoint slot, so that
Ooh.
somebody would be on it, then like a turret kind of thing, and then sort of shoot javelins off of it like a that would actually be pretty cool because then it's like fixed to the mount, and then you would basically just tell the mount, stay, don't move around, don't follow me. So get off the mount, get behind it, get into the turret thing basically,
So
and then basically use it
basically
like a
like
turret.
in,
Yeah,
in in Star Wars where the
yeah,
swamp people were fighting the droids.
yeah. Yeah, basically it's like a little thing, but it's basically you jump into it's like a mounted hardpoint thing on the actual mount, which is then like a ballista shooting javelin spears, which
Yeah.
could be pretty cool. I think that sounds pretty cool.
Poor Moa if you mount it on the Moa. Like
Yeah,
you pull the trigger
yeah,
and
why
then
not?
and then the javelin is staying in place, but the Moa is shooting backwards.
Going backwards, yeah, true. It could be something like that. That would be funny, But if you had like a cool, or like a, or on a cart, because they have the farming animals, they're able to
True, true.
carry carts or drag carts around. You could build like like a like a battle trailer, which then has like the type of ballista mounted on top of it. So you basically drag that through with extra supplies, and then you're basically, oh shoot, we're being attacked by something massive. Shoot it with the ballista thing.
Hmm.
So could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Or it might actually be necessary to kind of battle the type of really big creatures to do, decent amounts of damage when they're in their weakened states, or just to kind of crack through a few things. So it does could
Well,
be something cool.
we get this new, very powerful weaponry because
Yeah,
our current weapons are gonna cut it against the great hunt animals. So yeah,
yeah,
we're gonna need a
basically,
lot of firepower.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, you were talking about adding new firing blend space for the slug launcher.
yeah, but that's
It's
it. It was
yeah.
just like a shield thing, so I wasn't thinking it's fine. So
This one, let's see. Ice Mammoth bats changed exploding bats NPC type to passive, so other world bats won't attack them on sight, specifically for the Ice Mammoth ones. And changed their display name from Lava Flyer to Arctic Flyer. Hold on, Lava Flyer. That's the floaty thingy in the volcanic biome. We're
yeah,
gonna
it was
get
called a
like an
flyer. You're right. That was
yeah.
a flyer.
We're
Yeah.
gonna get an Arctic variant now as well. We had one in the
Well, there's
swamp, the green ones.
yeah, there's the swamp, and then there's. So it makes sense if they made one
Ah,
everywhere, but I think it sounds like a pest then. So it's good XP, but other than that,
yeah.
that's about it.
Ice Mammoth bat swapped exploding bat out for this new mesh, so it's gonna get a new mesh. Okay. Well, if it's like the proper flyer, they are quite steady. Sure, they attack anything. Only when it's underneath them, they're not gonna come towards you to attack you. So let's hope the Ice Mammoth bat is gonna be the same. However, if it's gonna be the same as the Arctic Vespers, they're gonna come at you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fixed blocking. Attachment stats for Ice Mammoth Sledgehammer is not blocking. Like I said, the Sledgehammer is gonna be having a block function.
I
Reduce.
saw over here reducing Nova Station exotic price, increased credit price, and reduced the unlock price and increases the purchase price.
Yeah.
So Nova Station is interesting to me because
Let's
could
see.
that
That
be
is
the
how far down we're
that's
talking.
probably a bit, but it's basically Nova Station is something, and obviously in the orbiter then on the workstation.
There we
So
are.
that could be something that you would have to buy to take down, or you would need to
Yeah.
unlock it to send up resources so that you could research them for the
I
relevant,
would
or refine them into
say
the exotic stuff. So
like it's an exotics price. So I would say
yeah,
you buy it in the workshop, bring it down, deploy it, and then the Nova Station is the one which we were speculating earlier on. This is one where you like do the great hunt stuff.
yeah, of course, that was the thing I'm thinking about as
Yeah.
well. But it's just like I'm not sure if it's just like if you're. It's also I'm trying to think that they should increase the station's capability, because obviously the main goal is still to be able to. The original game was to obviously go up each and every time. So we do have a very large orbital body or space station of some form or another that's in orbit that we could theoretically see more feature content based upon, because realistically, if you unlocked it as like a scientist lab basically in the station, then it could be, like you have to unlock it, you have to pay money to unlock it, or spend loyalty points to unlock
Well,
it so that you can actually research and get
it's gonna
the
be the
new stuff.
biolab, and I reckon the biolab is gonna be on station.
Yeah, that was the thing, yeah. So
Yeah, but this one, like Nova Station, like reduced exotics price but increased credits price.
yeah,
Uh, if you do the simple quest, you get Ren. Not a whole lot, but you do get Ren. A Ren, you usually have more of than exotics, usually. So that's fine. Reduced unlock price, so you can unlock it earlier. However, every time you buy one to bring down to a prospect, you pay more. Increase the purchase price.
yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Huh. Reduce war chance. To spawn Ice Spire attachment stat for Ice Mammoth Sledgehammer. Ice Spire attachment stat. To spawn. Okay. Whatever. Um, more biolab weapon stuff. Slime attachments. Slime for the sledgehammer. Ah. Block attachment stat for the sledgehammer. Spawn Ice Spire for the sledgehammer. So if you use that, it's gonna spawn ice spires. And you can just wire block attachment start for the sledgehammer. Wire chance to spawn ice spire attachment start for the sledgehammer. And there is the slam attachment. This does tie in the one where is it? Make the ice spires less OP. Where is it? Slightly up, I think. Uh, so yeah, apparently if you use the yeah here, when spawning based on chance, make the ice pillars not so OP for the ice mammoth sledgehammer. So you hit the ground and it's somewhere presumably in the direction of your swing is gonna like spawn ice pillars which can like pierce your enemy from below. That's gonna be a nice attack variant. I like that. Okay, let's.
Which one?
Say the Ice Mammoth Sledgehammer.
Yeah.
If I combine a couple of those lines here, I'm thinking like you swing and then like in front of you all the ice spires are gonna pop up, which can then attack
Oh yeah.
the enemy from behind, from below.
Could be. Yeah, could be. Yeah.
So for example, a blueback, which is a hard shield on his back, not on his belly though. So
Exactly.
fix half pitch for ice, limestone, and tempered glass. Ice building pieces, I think, has been mentioned before. Limestone, we've definitely seen before mentioned as a building pieces. Tempered glass, though. Don't recall having seen that one before.
Doesn't sound familiar either. That could be something for
Adding
future buildings
legendary,
though.
adding legendary flamethrower lava sizzle audio. Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Tweak the socket position for the Great Ape tail attacks. Oh, and Great
Oh,
Ape
there's a bunch
nauseous
of.
gas clouds now cover a larger area and persist longer. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean it might be it's similar to the slug, hammerhead slugs, like poison spit thingy, because that thing was irritating.
Yeah,
So
but this one's gonna be gas cloud.
yeah.
So definitely I'm gonna need green pills there.
Yet again, you're in an enviro suit, so technically you have oxygen pre-sealed internally to it. So theoretically, in theory, gas cloud should do zero
True,
to you
in
because you're in
theory.
a and you're in a contained unit.
In
So
theory,
yeah,
maybe some kind of acid gas, but then again, how is you swallowing
yeah,
a pill gonna help with that? Yeah, I
yeah,
know, I know.
yeah. Like I said, I'm not gonna ask questions here, but okay,
Let's
sure.
let's let's just say, sure, the air is
Magic.
poison, but your spacesuit, with the help of oxide slash oxygen, is like somehow filtering out some of the poison part and etc. You know.
Yep, exactly.
Um, let's see. Weapon
Added a
buttons.
cheat function to restore trees in a radius.
Yep, for the devs to test out the function of the 3 device without having to. And now I'm thinking out loud here, without having to fight stuff that's gonna spawn like it is spawning when you run the thumper.
Well, technically, if they're going to, if they actually just tested it the normal way, then perhaps it would have been, I'm not saying, I'm not dissing the developers, but I'm just saying, technically they should be using the item quite a bit as part of their testing. I mean,
True,
people can acid test it as part of alpha or as part of beta testing, but it
true.
is, like I'm just saying, if you use the item, it
Yeah,
becomes
but
tedious, definitely, but
yeah, but if and there's no
if
new
if
no
the if
no
the
news
trigger
about it, there's
event,
no
right,
info
yeah,
about it. But
yeah,
if this device is gonna trigger a wave of enemies like
yeah, it
a
would be a
Thumper
pain,
does,
100%.
then I can understand how devs like, hey, we're still testing this function and we've like frequently tested because
Yeah,
then I
exactly.
don't
They just
want to
like
have to
to,
fight all the
yeah,
time. So
no, 100% agree. Yeah, just pulling their, I'm just yanking the chain.
additional dialogue delays to give time for action to happen before it's talked about.
Yep.
Yes, please. Otherwise, oh, you saw the thing popping up behind you and it hasn't happened yet. Then you know you have to turn around quickly to
Yeah, it's like,
face
what
it.
thing? Oh, the big smiling teeth that's right about to eat my face.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
So
gonna be some
thanks for
patience, huh?
thanks for the warning, mate.
Could have been done with a bit more urgency, but yeah, okay. Thanks for telling. Rather late than never. So,
Yeah. So yeah, indeed, action happen before it's being talked about.
yeah.
Gives it more of this surprise shock, like run.
Well, I mean, like I said, what was it? There was something in the game that made very odd sounds that I wasn't liking at all, and I can't recall. Oh no, that was in Valheim. That was in when I was hearing the yeah. So audio is very important, but they've already emphasized that as well, quite a few in a few notes. So. Mm.
Let's see. Cora Juvenile. Bestiary progress granting on Nova Station. So that means those great hunt animals are going to be in the bestiary as well.
Hmm.
If you do actions on Nova Station for them, you get the bestiary progress. Good.
Yeah.
Centaurum fixed Centaurum crossbow loaded state not being held properly due to mission animation blueprint setup.
Animation. Yeah. Fixed
But
bear, elephant, and juvenile rock carcass materials not looking skinned. So it's interesting that they had to go back to the elephants
and the
and the
bear.
bear.
Yeah.
Hmm. I know there was
Uh,
a change where they allowed you to skin the bosses as well, or was that not the case? What was it? It
no,
was
like
they're lootable, but there was
loot.
something that they had to. Oh no, it was the mammoth. I think it was one of the big things. Didn't look like it was being skinned or something to that effect. They've mentioned it in the previous week's one as well. But
Yeah.
okay, so they're still working on it, or still
Huh.
planning on working on it.
Mentioning that you'll need a taxidermy knife in the Great Hunt Rock Golem first mission during the first quest step.
Okay, interesting.
So, are we gonna get a Rock Golem Vestige as well for and do we have then to make the trophy for the quest, or
Could be. Yeah.
or are we gonna need the taxidermy knife to actually get the biomass thingy?
Oh, like scalping it out of the corpse kind of
Yeah.
level of.
So
But
if
yeah,
you
it could
skin
be.
it with a normal knife, you don't get the biomass thingy, which you need.
Yeah. True. That could be.
Now there is a backpack which basically grants taxidermy knife functionality to all other knives, as in 100% chance to get a vestige.
Oh, I
Will
didn't know
this
that.
backpack also then, assuming you need a taxidermy knife to get the biomass, will this backpack grant the same functionality, like get the biomass functionality to all other knives?
Maybe.
Something to test out once Great Hunt is being dropped.
True.
Uh, Decreasing weight of the ammo the slug and launcher
Yep.
uses.
I see that they're reducing the number of young Quarites, which spawn in the very first Quarite mission, which I'm wondering if that's the nickname for the juvenile golems.
Rock Golem.
Yeah, they're called Quarites,
Yeah,
which is cute,
could,
you
could,
know.
could.
So,
Then we should. once we get the quarite together with some abbreviation of a mission, GH underscore something, then we can see whether or not it's rock golem, because GH underscore RG stands for rock golem. Great Hunt rock golem.
Oh, yeah, well, they said it was juvenile. My assumption is acquired is equal to juvenile rock golem. So yeah.
Quarite equal rock golem. Young quarite, juvenile rock golem. Yeah.
Yes, basically. Well, yeah. Okay, could be. Yeah.
Adding new stats for the legendary weapon Ape Club Slime Attack, as well as the 3 possible effects based on selected upgrade. Oh, we're gonna have like uh, different possible upgrades mutually exclusive? Huh.
Yes, makes sense.
Okay. Okay. Uh, add 1 big spike for more pierce damage.
That type of thing. Yeah, maybe.
And if you don't do it, but you get another upgrade, you get more melee damage, blunt. But mutual exclusive
Or
would be
set it
interesting.
ablaze, and then you've got fire damage,
Yeah,
or cover it with the acid toxin, and then you've got toxin damage.
yeah,
Let's see what exactly they're thinking of implementing.
yeah. As well as the 3 possible effects based on the selected upgrade. That's kind of point for me towards mutually exclusive updates.
Yep.
Interesting. That's gonna give you a lot of variation then in the weapons. Fix Ape D2 mission giving unreasonable amounts of goop on the final objective. Yeah.
Very interesting name.
Update basically overview page show biomes for creatures in addition to the image. We've talked about that one already. Renamed the world spawn Ice Mammoth to Ice Sea Mammoth. Because Ice Mammoth is going to be the Great Hunt thing. And
Yep.
the ones in the Arctic spawning is now going to be called Ice Sea Mammoth. Slightly different loot table and spawn zones for the Ice Sea Mammoth. Or is it like the big Ice Mammoth once you like, I don't know, complete it and then have it spawn into your open world? Then called that big one called Ice Mammoth, I don't know. System weakness. Oh, fixed weapon list not scrolling. Oh, that's annoying. I don't always use it, but sometimes I do use the scroll wheel to switch through weapons. But yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, there was one other. Let me see. Huh. Let's see, what else do we have? Um, Tunnel manager. Coffee grinder. Add
Ooh,
decoration coffee grinder and a butter churn. And
interesting. Makes sense on both
giant
sides. Yeah.
wrench sign. But they're like DCO, so decorations, I think that it stands for. I think.
Ah, okay, yeah, makes sense as well. But yet again, coffee beans are there, and we can
Yeah.
already make coffee, so
And we can
it's
make
just basically
butter,
adding
so
the technica. Yeah.
would be nice if it was like functional as well, but
Well,
uh,
it would make sense if you had like a little mini game where you had go activate the churner and you had to sort of move a
well,
mouse or push key combinations to determine that it's going to be made something successfully.
as
So,
long as it's
yeah.
optional.
Mm, true.
Allowed the dead miners quest assets to be removed or deleted by holding X. So you don't want to see the dead miners every time you like enter this ape biolab, cause that's. Oh no, that was
Yep.
dead researchers.
Yep.
Dead miners must be for some other mission. Maybe for the rock golem. It's a miner, huh? Rock
Oh
golem
yeah, true.
being in a
True.
cave and.
Yep. Correct. And probably people trying to mine, and then the rock golem is like, "You're disturbing my sleep." Squash. Okay, no
Yeah,
more noise. Everything is fine.
exactly.
then
Oh yeah,
not
yeah.
much.
This was the one I was looking for. Quite a ways up. Updated Garganton A base setup, added more blood and updated habitat contents. Apparently it's not gonna be bloody enough, Garganton.
Okay, right. Gore and blood does make a game interesting.
To an extent, and that's why they add the option to pick up the dead or remove the dead miners.
Hmm.
Tag some logs in swamp ape arena, sorry, to be able to be picked up by the great ape rather than just knock them over. So he's gonna knock over trees, and some of them he can use for clubs, some he can't. Okay.
Well, for people that are suffering from a hemophobia, I would assume that it is something that is also affects. Same thing with the arachnid phobia. So,
Hemophobia,
uh,
what the heck is that?
fear of blood. People that pass out at
Ah,
the sight of blood or
okay.
anything of the sort, or corpses and blood. People that are
Huh.
a bit squeamish. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I could probably walk into quite a gruesome scene and really not think much of it. My smell would probably hit me first, not so much the visual, but that's my
Yeah,
theory
I don't
anyway.
know. Yeah, there's some. We will have to wait for the great hunt to drop before we can see
Yeah,
how
well,
much blood and gore there's gonna be.
well, it's hunting animals intentionally. That's the whole mission. So
I
unless you're
mean,
getting smacked by a
yeah.
club that's the size of a trunk of a tree, isn't going to end up with a little scratch. No, your head's going to be caved in. So yeah,
Or like your head is on one side of the arena, your body on the other side of the arena. Good luck
should be,
reviving
but
you.
yeah, exactly. It's just one hit KO, but we'll see.
Uh,
Well, it seems like that's about it, other than some small adjustments to, like the Black Wolf Revolver name, and
Yeah, there's
yeah.
a lot of info here about the Great Hunt and the bioweapons. I wonder which one is gonna drop first, Great Hunt or Elysium. We don't see a lot of Elysium in the patch notes
Yeah.
lately, so I would say Great Hunt. I hope it is like wishful thinking. Huh? A Great Hunt is gonna be like close to completion, and
Well, they're
like
focusing on that, but you don't know
uh,
how far their current work on Elysium is. But I would definitely say, based upon the patch notes, trending more towards, like I said, Great Hunt, that it would be before. Unless they're done with Elysium and that one's really ready for release, but I think there would have been indications if there was the case. So,
exactly. So I think it's gonna be the Great Hunt first. I
yeah.
can't wait for it, man. I want to be able to like make them big ass weapons and
Well,
stuff.
it would be nice to sort of finish up a couple of missions and then
True, true, and
get
that
us
is
ready
actually
for
what we're
all
gonna
the.
work on in the subsequent gameplay. No worries.
Indeed.
Talking about subsequent gameplay, these were the patch notes for this week. Some interesting stuff. Too bad about the infinite dirt exploit. So be it.
What time?
Yep. Other than that, like not a whole lot of like new stuff this week. Yeah, okay, so lava, dirt stone now takes damage there, but we'll just have to, like I said, we'll just have to mine some scoria and play some scoria breaks and make some proper bridges over lava. It's fine
Do you
though.
think it will apply to existing building pieces, or would you be lucky and it only applying to newly placed building pieces?
Good question. I am afraid it's gonna be for existing as well.
Yeah.
Uh, I can't really imagine that's not gonna work anymore. However, having said that, like, I know for a fact I have used this build a dirt bridge over lava to in the null sector. Imagine
Yep.
I'm past the bridge. I'm now in the ice sheets. I want to go back, but my dirt bridge is gone because it took lava damage.
Yep.
How am I gonna be able to go back over the lava if there's no bridge no more and I don't have any materials in the ice sheet because I've just have for this particular in this particular case I have just
Easy.
started to like quickly look into the ice sheet and was planning on coming back with a lot of materials, which I don't have on me.
Easy. Easy peasy. You just
So
build the stairway to heaven, and then you just sort of build ramps all the way over, and then you
all the way
fall,
until
and
you
if you
reach the
die,
space station, and then from the space
yeah,
station you take a pod back down to
yep,
your original
back down,
starting
yep,
location. Okay, okay.
perfect legit storage. It sounds 100% fine. I don't
Question
see a
is,
problem with
where do you get the materials for your stairway to heaven?
that. You stack corpses. It's the great, there's just there's animals around. You just sort of grab the animal, drag them to the edge of the lava,
There
throw them
are a lot
in.
of animals, but not so many animals that you can make a stack so high before they start disappearing. So, yeah.
Yeah, sure, we'll see.
But yeah. Uh, we'll take a break of like 15ish minutes, after which we will be back with subsequent gameplay in our Prometheus co-op open world. Sounds good?
Yep, to me, indeed. See
Okay.
them guys in a bit.
So yeah, like I said, this is we're gonna call it for now. We're gonna take a quick break. I can set up stuff in the next stream. Go out from my bad habit. Uh, so thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. I hope you had a good time, and hopefully this was useful for you, or entertaining, or whatever. Uh, yeah, like I said, we will be back in some 15-ish minutes with subsequent gameplay, which we will do in our Prometheus co-op open world. So again, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it, and I hope I will see you folks around.